All right, Van Lathan is here. We are taping this. It's middle of the week. I saw F1 in the theater with Brad Pitt last night. Whole Simmons family, a little 10:15 showing at the Grove. It was great. It was packed. IMAX. Had a great time. I have so many things I want to talk about. I'm not a giant F1 fan. Neither are you.
Never seen one F1 race before the movie.
Ben Simmons, my son, on the way home is like, I think I might get into F1.
Same.
It's like one of those kind of movies.
Same.
It was better than I thought. I'll start here. I can't believe this actually worked out, that this movie they spent all this money on with 61-year-old Brad Pitt as a Formula One driver. Seems a little improbable, kind of old. And then you hear this story about how they're spending money. Oh my God, Apple's involved. Apple's had some bus.
Yeah.
They're doing it for IMAX. It feels like Days of Thunder kind of for 2025. There's a lot of signs that this might not work out. And instead it worked out great. And I think it's one of the best sports movies of the 21st century. I'll go that far.
Sexy movie.
Sexy movie.
Sexy movie. Sometimes when you use the term sexy for a movie, you think, there's a lot of sex-having people in the movie. No. Movie is sexy. Cars look sexy. The wardrobe is beautiful. It moves with a certain pace. It's a sexy film. It's a sleek film. It's a stylish film. It also does something else. You go into the movie, or the movie assumes that you don't know shit about F1. So it builds the lore of the sport. People that know a lot about F1, I wonder how they would have responded to it, because maybe you're watching a basketball game and they go, if you get double figures in 3 different statistical categories, that's known as a triple double. Maybe if you watch a lot of basketball, you'd be like, I don't need you to tell me that I'm not a moron.
Yeah.
But this movie held my hand through the F1 driving and gave me a very simple and easy to glom onto story. And that made for a really, really satisfying experience in the theater.
Yeah, the only time it really grabbed your hand and was like, look, we got to really explain this to you was some of the, I'll do some spoiler alerts later, but there was some tire stuff in one of the climactic races that they were really carefully telling us, like, here's why this is important, blah, blah, blah.
Well, that's
tires,
what I mean.
old tires.
What I mean is
I never felt like I was being talked down to like you do in some sports movies.
Right,
you know what I mean?
That's what I mean. What I mean is, it's like, okay, there's drama in here. I don't understand your sport. So why is this dramatic? I'm like, oh my God, he's got to switch his tires. Jesus.
Yeah.
Got to switch his tires.
There's 2 guys that are on the same team. There's a bunch of teams.
Right.
This team's the worst team. This other team has gone through all these drivers. They're so desperate they're going to go with this old washed up guy.
Right.
You could understand all of it. There's some stuff about when they would do laps, where it would be like lap 54. I'm like, how many laps are in this race? And they'd be like, 4 laps to go. Okay, I guess there's 4 laps to go.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, I didn't feel like it talked down to me, which I liked. I thought, as you know, I love movies when I go into a world. Love just like, take me into this world. So we're in different cities and countries every week.
Big part of it.
There's like this whole rich person scene with like those little clubs. Like, I've never been to an F1. Have you?
No.
There's like it's almost like these big ass luxury boxes with parties.
Yeah.
And all this money and all this ego. I've seen some of it. Like, I watched the first season of Drive to Survive. I liked it. And there's a lot there. The drivers have a mystique about them. Yeah. So it made sense that Brad Pitt versus like, one of the things you said when we were talking before was it's a little bit of the Top Gun Maverick blueprint. Certainly.
Yeah, it's Brad Pitt's Top Gun Maverick. But look.
But he brings more to the table at this point in his career, I think, than Cruise does for a movie like this.
Well, with Tom,
I need to feel like he might fuck the technician who's running the cars.
Well,
with Cruise, I'm not going to feel that way.
That's the difference. So, also, just saying something, there was an age-appropriate love interest here, which
Carrie Condon.
Yeah, right. So, with Brad, you really do get it and believe it, right? You get it and believe it because, we've seen Brad Pitt. He's still incredibly virile and handsome, but we know that he's got some tread on his tires.
Some baggage. He brings the baggage into the movies now.
Brings the baggage
Cliff
into
Booth,
the movie.
this character.
Same thing. It's okay. He's playing off of it. It's working. But everything that you just described about the movie is another reason why I really liked it so much. There's nothing on screen that you don't want to watch.
Yeah.
You want to watch exotic locales. The cars are beautiful. It's a clean looking movie. So all they got to do after they set the story up, it's just go fast. That's it.
Well, and racing movies are the most easy to understand of any sport because it's like there's a checkered flag at the end, and whoever drives through first wins it.
And it's dangerous.
And they kept doing, it's dangerous. You might have car crashes.
Mhm.
They did a really good job, I thought, with how they did the scoreboard and the leaderboard and the cars moving up and down. Because we've seen that go badly, or we've seen like announcers be like, "No, he is in fourth place."
Yep.
And just feeling like they're shoehorning in after the fact because the test audience didn't understand. There was none of that.
And you know what's dramatic? A pit stop.
Yeah.
Stopping and everybody having to change tires that quickly, build a new car, all of that stuff. If you can build a drama around that and then make that a visual touch point in your film, that's going to work.
It's a fun world because you start thinking about like the pit crew people. There was that one lady who she fucked up a couple times with tires. Like, I bet at the end of the movie, she's going to be humming with gas.
And she goes to him and she says, "Hey, don't encourage me out there. It makes me look weak."
Yeah.
There's a whole culture that exists behind it and everything. They're training tennis balls. There's a little Rocky IV in there where Damson's character is using all the high-tech stuff. And that's kind of like, oh my God.
There's a lot of Rocky IV.
Right. And then Brad
He's almost
Pitt,
doing the split screens.
He's just using the tennis balls and running with the crew. And in some way that's more effective. It's all the tropes that we've seen before.
Yeah.
But I saw this movie in 70 millimeter at City Walk. And it was breathtaking.
So we probably should have started with that. Because the reason this movie works over every other reason, and I've been watching sports movies my entire life. We did The Longest Yard rewatchables a year ago, 1974. That's kind of the modern sports movie. So we're now in year 52 of sports movies. We've done every version of these. What we hadn't done is the IMAX. This is like a fucking exhilarating experience to be in the theater for this, where you're just like, I had to pee for the last hour. And I'm not one of those old guys who has to pee all the time. I had a giant Coke, I had a water, I was eating popcorn, and I didn't want to get up.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to miss anything. I don't know what's going to happen. And you're just sitting there like, they filmed it a certain way. They knew they spent a shitload of money because they knew that the IMAX thing was going to be the calling card. And this is, I know Fantasy on Big Picture always talks about how do we save movies, how do we reinvigorate movies, and a big part of this in the last 6 years was we got to get people going to the theater.
Gotta give me experience I can't get at home.
This is the ultimate. You have to see this in the theater.
Right.
They do these with the superhero movies or like Jurassic Park. Like it'll be fun to see in the theater, but it's not a must. You can still see it. Whatever. This has to be seen in the theater. I know. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have fired shots. We were doing so well for like 5 minutes.
You just can't not do it.
It's like whatever. Superman.
You gotta. You gotta see Superman in the theater. There's no reason to down talk Superman or Fantastic Four to uplift F1.
It's fair.
Okay,
you're right.
But
it's fair.
I'll say this.
It's good criticism.
I'll say this. Sinners as well. Now, Sinners is a movie that you think I could definitely watch that at the crib, but then Ryan Coogler comes out and makes a case as to why this is a theater-going experience. So that video that he did, they got like 10 million views with the Kodak people. Great. This movie is the type of movie that I go, when I'm talking to somebody, I go, man, you have got to see this on the biggest screen possible because it's so immersive. You're going to be inside of the race. Kosinski is, and we have to start.
Well, Joseph Kosinski, who's, I think, moving up the ladder for me. He's kind of like Tony Scott 2.0 now.
That's exactly who he is. He is such an expert blockbuster filmmaker. He knows the beats that you need to see to marry fantastic action with a big movie star.
And style.
Just enough plot to get you over the finish line.
Yeah, this Tony Scott would have easily made some version of this movie.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, he did make this movie.
Days of Thunder, yeah.
But the IMAX piece of it, and just that technology is getting so cool now that you just got lost in the screen. But this is like when we did, I don't know, we do rewatchables from the 70s and you like a movie like Jaws or The Exorcist, and people saw it in the theater and it like blew their mind because it's either that or they were home with like a little black and white TV. Now everybody has nice TVs. You could see Sinners at home.
Yeah.
I still think it's going to be a better experience in the theater. I've had it both ways. It was just better in the theater. This is like, I think it will be a rewatchable, and you'll definitely watch this at home.
Yeah.
But I think this was like a must. And I don't know if there's been a sports movie that was before this one where you were like, you actually had to see this in the theater.
Well, not all sports lend themselves to this huge, because most sports movies are driven not by the actual playing of the sport.
Right.
They're driven by the culture of the sport. Like we did Blue Chips on the rewatchables. The basketball in Blue Chips, it's not bad, but it's like not a part of the story as much as the culture of college basketball is. This movie has a dramatic setup to get you to the racing. The racing is the reason why you come see the film. To that point, did it have enough story for you?
Yeah.
It's kind of a paint by number story, but it still worked.
Well, I wrote down all the sports movie tropes that it did. And I started to really feel this way. I remember writing a column about this in the late 2000s, that I'd just seen too many sports movies and my brain became AI for sports movies. So as soon as they would set something up, I remember I wrote about Invictus. Remember the Matt Damon rugby movie where he's playing the 6'3" monolith?
Like Morgan Freeman in that?
Yeah, Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
And I remember writing about there's like a South African kid and a cop, and they show them early, and they're like far away from each other, and the cops, and I was like, all right, by the end of this movie, they're gonna be high fiving. You just kind of know.
Right.
In your AI brain, it's like, I've just seen too many of these.
Right.
This movie had a lot of sports movie tropes that you're like,
old dog, young dog.
The best that never was.
Right.
Seen that one.
Mm-hmm.
He could have gotten there, but that thing happened and it sent him in a tailspin, but now he's in a good place. Still something left in the gas tank. Maybe. Old guy versus new guys.
Yeah.
Downtrodden team that needed a spark.
Right.
In this case, the Apex team.
Mm-hmm.
The monologue about chasing that one great feeling, which I don't feel like we're going to spoil the movie too much, but Brad Pitt has this monologue in the movie that's really good. I think he would have nailed it more 20 years ago. We could talk. I want to talk about some Brad Pitt stuff later, but the monologue sets up this moment in the final race that's just fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like one of the better sports movie scenes of the last 30, 35 years. And you kind of know when he does the monologue, you're like, all right, I wonder I wonder if there's gonna be an umbilical cord now to what I think might happen. And then they fucking nailed it.
Right. Even that is a trope. The sports movie trope of describing a thing and then just waiting until that thing happens. Like in Tin Cup, when they're talking about the last time Roy, yeah, when he made a crowd-pleasing 12.
Well, you know what started was Rocky.
Okay.
He goes to see the where they're having the fight. Remember the promoter's like, I'm sure you'll give us a good fight. Don't care about your shorts.
Right.
And he goes back and he sees Adrian and he says, I'm not going to win. I can't beat him.
Right.
But if I can just go the distance, nobody's ever been the distance with Creed. And he does his whole Stallone monologue. And you're like, oh man, now I just want this guy to go like he's planting all the seeds. And they kind of do that with this, but after 5 decades of these movies, you know when they do the monologue, you're like, all right, we're going to circle back on this one.
But once it actually happens in this film, I'm sitting there and I'm like, because the movie has kind of set up, I guess, at least a shred of belief that things can go wrong. There are some unexpected turns. So once it starts happening for him, once he gets locked in that zone, I'm just like, man, cross the finish line and win. And if a sports movie gets you to that point, you know that your protagonist is probably going to win at the end.
Yeah.
But them getting you to want the protagonist to win, that's the goal of the movie.
Well, I've been writing about sport. Well, I don't write anymore, but when I used to write about sports movies all the time.
Yeah.
I was like the Roger Ebert of bad sports movies.
Oh,
just
you
like
do
trying to write. I'd write reviews on
You're
anything.
the Roger Ebert
I wrote a
of that.
review of Summer Catch. That's how many sports movies
That's
I've covered.
an important movie, though.
Well, for you.
Yeah. That's
White Girl Hall of Fame?
Yeah, that's
okay.
one of the movies when I was like that. And then a couple of years later, she comes back with the iconic scene in I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry.
There you go.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. It's no secret that great teams need great teammates. And when it comes to insurance, State Farm is there to help you find the right coverage for your home, car, and more. Whether you need an in-person or digital assist, they're ready when life hits you with a full court press. Get a game plan that helps fit your life and talk to State Farm today. State Farm with the assist. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability and eligibility vary by state. Chill scenes were massively important in sports movies for a long, long time. By chill scene, I mean those scenes when, like Hoosiers has a bunch of them where it's like they go around the locker room before the big game. It's like, I want to win for my dad, and you're just like, oh man. Or like when Ollie hits the 2 free throws and everyone explodes, and you know, you just if you have a chance to get goosebumps or you get that little like funny feeling when it's like, oh man, that was great. This movie has a chill scene.
What's chill scene?
Well, the last big climactic scene.
Oh, a chills. You mean chills?
Yeah, you're just like,
okay, yeah. Definitely,
goosebumps.
Definitely.
It's got one of those.
And it also has like something in it that a lot of sports movies do. Some of them do poorly, to where you start to wonder if your protagonist is getting on your fucking nerves. Like if this guy's just a loser. Right, you
in this case, Sonny Hayes.
Yeah,
what a name.
Right, if this guy's just you're like, come on, Sonny, don't have sex with the technical leader of the team. Don't do this.
I know she's got that little cute Irish accent.
I know.
She keeps looking at you with those little batting those eyes at you.
But Sonny,
you gotta hold off,
just
Sonny.
Stay away from it.
Come on, Sonny.
Sonny's whole deal, and then you're like, you know what? No, that old Sonny. He's gonna pull through.
Get in there, Sonny.
Yeah, Sonny's okay. I don't mind it from Sonny. I accept it from Sonny.
Yeah,
you know. And then I think Damson's part in this movie, because this is not a character that there's asked much of. However,
but he brings a lot to the table somehow.
What you needed was someone who could charisma movie star their way through. It's a very important role in his career, because I'm like, oh, when he's on screen, he is worthy to be next to Brad Pitt, because you could easily get bowled over by the charm and the magnetism, should I say, of Brad Pitt, but he never really does.
Also, like on paper, it's like Brad Pitt, old grizzled white hero guy. Here's your cocky black counterpart that you're gonna have. It's like, all right,
cocky
this could go.
Counterpart.
This could go.
Christ.
Well, I'm saying this is
on paper. This?
On paper, this.
Wait a minute. Is that? Wait a minute. Is that this? Is this?
No,
old
but I mean, that's
grizzled?
when you saw
have you been F1ing this situation
is that
from the time I've been at the ring?
Is cocky black counterpart
cocky
erroneous
black counterpart?
in any way?
It's not. I'm just wondering am I the
but
cocky
they
black
set up
counterpart?
the trailer, and you're like, all right, I get what this is. But I didn't feel like watching the movie. I actually really liked him.
Yeah,
and I kind of saw his side of everything, you know?
Yeah, because we haven't talked about Javier Bardem, and I guess we should, but he is the guy that has sacrificed to be the lead driver, and he's got all the potential.
Yeah.
He's too in his own head. How is he going to both take the direction from the old wizard, but not lose too much of himself and become him? And at the end, he was like,
well, wait on that point, though.
Okay, cool.
There's like some NBA, NFL parallels with that too, where it's like, I'm a franchise player. That's what my contract says.
Exactly.
Well, your team's not winning. Well, but I have 5 million people on Instagram. Like, like the way he was doing that. We haven't seen a lot of those characters in sports movies just because we're not making as many sports movies that are good anymore. Right. And that specific character is the last 10 years. I am a star because social media and my place, and I've done commercials, but I haven't really done anything. But that doesn't matter because, and I have my guy who's arranging all this stuff, and I have interviews. It's interesting that specific character, because I think of the different generations of sports movies. In this generation we're in now, I don't know other sports movies that have hit that.
Well, I think you could argue that there are a couple of reasons. Number one, we relate to that character more now than we ever have.
It's a last 7-8 years thing.
Right. In the past, we just didn't relate to that guy. That guy that went, hey, make a lot of money, become as famous as you possibly can. If you win, cool. If you build great teams and great culture, cool. But you don't have to. Because like now we have arguments where it's like, you know, hey man, if you came up on a $225 million contract and you never got to the conference finals, that's a win.
Yeah.
We're very cynical about these things now. F1 is interesting because it's a sport where you could die. So
Right.
because it's a sport where you could die, that means if you don't do things in the right way and you don't listen and you don't engage in teamwork, that could be the last race that you run. So
Right, like Gilbert Arenas wasn't going to die in the court if the Wizards went 35-47. Whereas this guy, well, maybe he was the bad example.
Shout out to Gil's Arena.
Yes.
But like, you never
Gil was the wrong.
You never know how it's going to go in the locker room with Gil. Shout out to all of them. I love that show. I'm just fucking around.
Let's go Kenny Anderson.
But in this situation, remember, he doesn't listen to Sonny, and he ends up out of commission for a little while.
He could have told his mom that he didn't listen.
Yeah, he did. He let Sonny take the whole fall.
Sonny take it. Yeah, I like that character though. And I think when you asked, like, was it a little light on the plot? I don't think it was light on the plot. It was just familiar. And I don't know if that's the movie's fault because we've just had too many sports movies. Yeah. I don't really know, unless you're going to do like what Cameron Crowe was able to do with Jerry Maguire, where you're just completely reinventing a sports movie, right? Where the star athlete is not even the most important character and it's built around an agent and this whole world around sports. Which is kind of where movies have gone from a sports standpoint the last, I would say, 15 years. And I think the flipping point was probably Moneyball range.
Oh, yeah.
There was a movie called Sugar in 2009. That was great.
I loved it.
Sugar's it's in the discussion.
I randomly saw that movie on HBO years ago about the Dominican pitcher that comes to him.
It's a classic.
And he starts really pitching well, and it looks like he's a phenom, and then it kind of doesn't.
Go sideways.
Not a ton of dialogue but just fantastic movie. Almost plays like a documentary. Love that film.
Yeah. So, and you saw like The Way Back with Affleck.
Yeah, I like that.
Warrior. Mm-hmm. We moved into a different kind of era of sports movies the last 15 years where they were more not like the ones we grew up with. They're more like movies that also happen to be about sports.
Yeah.
And character studies. And this is like an old school, could have come out basically in any decade. There would have been some version of it, which I thought was cool. Racing movies. So Le Mans.
I've seen 3.
Steve McQueen, Le Mans.
Never saw it.
Bobby Deerfield, Pacino.
No.
Some like it. Days of Thunder.
Yes.
Driven with Sly Stallone and Burt Reynolds, where they both have just had all of a sudden they weren't cool anymore. They both had a lot of plastic surgery. I remember writing that they both looked like they were wearing Halloween masks of themselves. Mm-hmm. And then our boy from Remember the Titans, what was his name? Sunshine?
Kip Purdue.
Yeah, Kip Purdue. What are you playing in Remember the Titans? Sunshine?
Playing Sunshine, the quarterback. Yeah.
So that was supposed to be his star vehicle, and he literally crashed.
Yeah.
Talladega Nights.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Senna, which was a documentary.
Never saw it.
One of the best sports documentaries of all time.
Okay.
Rush.
Oh, yeah.
Rush is great.
Yeah. Now, Rush is
also probably a top 10 sports movie of the century.
A ringer-pilled movie because I had never seen that movie until I got here, and everybody's like, you really need to watch that. And then I checked it out.
And I think Rush has aged really nicely because people just care about F1 more now.
Yeah.
You know?
What about,
and then Ford versus Ferrari was the only other one. There's been some bad ones.
Yeah, I saw one. There was one with, and I don't know if I'm making this up, but I feel like there was one with Kenny Rogers back in the day where he played a race car driver and he had to take care.
Stroker Ace?
I don't think it was Stroker Ace. He had to take care of a wayward group of kids.
Was it fat Kenny Rogers or skinnier Kenny Rogers?
I can't remember, man. I'm telling you.
We go back and forth.
There was a Kenny Rogers movie where he was a race car driver. It used to come on cable.
Yeah.
He had to take place of a group of misfit kids.
I did not have that one on my list.
Okay. I could be making this up, bro. But
it's interesting though, because boxing movies just happen over and over again. We talk about that. It's just they never, and it seems like almost every great actor wants to say, fuck it, I got to do my boxing movie. I'm going to get in crazy shape.
See, that's a part of it.
I'm just, people get to see me and I'll win the big fight in the end. I'll get the girl and nobody can resist it. And you go through every great actor or good actor who is like over 5'9" has probably made one.
It's over 5'9".
Well, like Pacino never made a boxing. Would have been, right. I guess he could have been like a flyweight.
But like Denzel, Jake Gyllenhaal.
They all have to do it.
I
guess Leo's one of the only ones who didn't do it.
It doesn't fit with him. being a boxer in a movie. He's not really physical in movies.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, I mean, he's sometimes a little bit.
Tom Hardy does the MMA version of it. So,
Right.
But racing, which I think can really work if you pull it off, but you need the kind of access. I mean, that was another thing. This movie, you were fully immersed because F1 let them fully immerse themselves in the movie. You saw all the drivers, like they're racing, you know, people like Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton are like kind of borderline villains in the movie because they're trying to beat our guys.
Yeah, Lewis, the producer on it. It's also the perfect time for F1 because it's only been in the last 5-6 years. Like, obviously, you know, pre-pandemic and then a little bit after that, I've heard people that I know say, "Hey, Van, you should go to an F1 race. It's really just like an awesome."
Well, we know.
weekend.
I mean, we know people that just have become addicted to it.
Right.
You know,
I saw
have
Trayvon
people
last
like
night at the
friends
movies.
in my life, like people that work for The Ringer, people like Rosillo, people that just like really got into it, that wake up in the mornings. We started a Ringer F1 show. Like I never would have expected to have a F1 show.
This movie is like, I was saying, I saw Trayvon last night and he was leaving the movie for like the 3rd time because he loves F1 that much.
Wow.
But also, it's a beautiful movie about beautiful, rich, expensive shit, which also
And great
speaks to the time.
locales.
And great locales.
Going all over the place.
Right.
We get to even get to be in Vegas with like a nice hotel suite looking out on the strip.
They're driving past the CVS on the strip and you're like, oh, I know where that is. And maybe I should go to the F1 race in Vegas. The real villain in the movie doesn't appear to like the end of the 2nd act into the 3rd act.
Yeah, we meet him, but we don't know he's the villain
We
yet.
meet him, but we don't know he's the villain yet. There are parts of the film that I think a different writer came in and put in the movie. Was there any part of you that could see the seams in it?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely there's some holes. I thought there was a couple parts, you know, they definitely wanted to get you do the dip where it's like, we're riding high, montage, now we're low, now we're riding up again.
Right.
And it felt like it was, they tried to do 2 dips with the accidents.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, one of those accidents I thought was one of the best things I've ever seen filmed in a sports movie. I was like, I don't even know how they did it.
Wait, which you talking about?
The Sonny's one.
Sonny's accident, yeah.
That was spectacular.
Right.
And Kosinski was on Sean's pod talking about how they studied all of these different accidents that actually happen, and they didn't like completely recreate them because you can't complete, but like tried to be in the vicinity of what the actual accident was, so it was realistic. But I thought that part was great. And then we got to talk about Brad Pitt.
Yeah, I was about to say that, yeah.
Because that's another giant piece. I mean, there's some really good supporting people in this movie all over the place. I thought Carrie Condon was excellent.
Great.
Not who you would take. Like, one of the ways they fuck movies up like this is it's like
they overcast it.
Yeah, it's like Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
Gal Gadot is going to be the
they overcast.
Going to be the lady who's building the cars. It's like, come on.
They put somebody in there like it was like I think
it's Denise Richards.
Yeah. It's like nuclear physicist Christmas Jones.
Right. Or like Elizabeth Shue in The Saint.
Right. It's like
okay.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Just cast it properly cast.
She was just cool. It's like,
it's
oh
awesome.
Man, I like because she was in the that Colin Farrell movie. She's been in a bunch of stuff. She's a good actress.
Everything that came from that character just has to be believable. It has to be believable that she would leave whatever situation she was in as a smart egghead and then go run a racing team or whatever. It has to be believable that she didn't have chemistry with Brad Pitt.
Accent was great. I like the way sometimes movies will have this. Like, she was really convincing. Like, you could tell she was enchanted by Sonny. And she did a good job of just kind of like, you're watching her going, is she falling for this dude? I feel like she is, but you kind of didn't know for a while.
And then by the balcony scene, she's full on hanging on his arm.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's got her in the palm of his
she was
hand.
good. I thought she was a really good character because that's a character in a sports movie that could go sideways. And then our guy from No Country for Old Men, flip a coin.
Oh, Javier Bardem. Yeah.
Flip a coin.
Or they get it mixed in your... And it would just become a coin.
I just think like
it is.
when they have somebody like that, I just think he should have the haircut from No Country for Old Men. But never explained. He's just got a bowl cut the whole time.
Cut.
He's just dressed like the guy who's just carrying around one of those air vapor guns.
Quick aside, do you know?
But I thought he was really good.
He was great. Do you know what one of the saddest scenes? Just quick aside, the scene between Anton and Carson, which is Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
And that is a sad scene. I watched No Country for Old Men twice last week. I'm not sure why. This is the scene where Woody Harrelson with all of that charm is sitting there.
He's just not buying
in front of the Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
And you know he's dead and he's trying to talk his way out of it. This is a really top 5 sad scenes.
That's one of the 2 movies that has grown on me the most in the 21st century. We already did it on Rewatchables.
Okay, yeah.
I saw it. I was like, weird ending when I saw it in the theater.
Yeah.
And then you watch it a couple more times and you're like, that ending was amazing.
Brilliant.
And now in 2025, I'm like, that's one of the best movies of the last 30 years.
But when you see him in this film, number one, once again, cast it very well. He looks, first of all, like an F1 driver. That's how those guys look, right?
Yeah, he looks like an F1 driver.
Like,
yeah, you can see like he won like in 2000.
Those guys are good looking.
Yeah.
They're European.
Yeah.
He looks it. And then he also looks like somebody that, because Brad Pitt is Brad Pitt when he's on screen, who is Brad Pitt going to respect? Right. It's kind of like the John Hamm situation from Top Gun Maverick. You need somebody in that role that you could be like, oh, okay, I see why this conversation between these 2 people would make sense. Not just in this world, but like in my mind as well. So he fills that spot.
Yeah, you have those XF1 guys. They're just like, keep your girl away from these guys. They have to have some sort of vibe. Yeah. Like,
X1.
No, you're not driving my wife home.
Everything in Europe has to do with sex. Okay.
It's a horny
everything
region of the world.
Sex.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking at these soccer players. They're out there running around like models, bro. The dudes in the NBA don't even be getting a lineup. All right. They're playing 3 games in a week. Sometimes the opening day, and that's it. Like everything out there it's sex with these Europeans, is what I've noticed.
It's a good observation. Brad Pitt. 4 decades of Brad Pitt as a leading man in an iconic movie. And I think this movie is an iconic sports movie.
Already you'd say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, it's not, I don't know where it's going to rank in the all-time pyramid, but I think for what it does with the technology we have, I think it's going to be remembered. I think it's influential.
Greatest racing movie ever? Are you ready to put it up in the Pantheon for discussion?
I'm looking at the list. I have to watch Rush again. I thought Rush was great.
Mm-hmm.
But like to appeal to me and my wife and my kids,
right?
And I'm sure the generations in between, and I know my dad would like it. Now it's 4 generations of people who are like, I just know if you like sports movies, you're going to be in on this. And whether you like racing or not, you're going to like it. Brad Pitt. So 7, Fight Club, Ocean's 11, Inglourious Bastards, Moneyball, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and F1. Just those 7 movies from a rewatchable popcorn. Culturally, they mattered when they came out for some way. And that's a span of 7 was 1995.
Yeah.
Mid-90s to now. Like, think about who the famous athletes were in 1995. It was like Steve Young won the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah, Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan was coming back from retiring the first time. Like, that's a long time ago. I have 6 stages of Brad Pitt.
Okay.
Stage number 1, up-and-coming, interesting, handsome guy. 90 to 94.
Thelma
and Louise. River runs through it. True Romance, Californication, Interview with a Vampire. It's like, every girl I know loves this guy. Not sure. Is he Redford? What's the path for him? Might be Redford. Didn't know.
All right.
Then it's leading man on training wheels for the next 4 years. 7, big hit for him. 12 Monkeys, Sleepers, 7 Years in Tibet. And then Meet Joe Black, they really went for it with him, and the movie wasn't good. That was the movie where it's like, Brad Pitt's a massive star. He's with Anthony Hopkins. We're really going for this. It didn't work.
It was the movie where they were like, let's just put Brad Pitt in a movie with an older guy and a interesting young face and see if he can just movie star his way through it.
This is a Robert Redford part.
Yeah.
Can you be Robert Redford for 2 hours?
It's actually not what Brad Pitt does, though.
No, because
Brad Pitt he needs a little something.
He needs to. It's always been said, but he's like the best looking character actor of all time.
Right. He needs a little something. He doesn't just do that. Even in The River Runs Through It.
Good movie.
Well, not A River Runs Through It. I didn't mean that one because you left out Legends of the Fall. Or was it in there? Did you have it in there?
It's later.
Okay. Legends of the Fall is a very important movie for Brad Pitt to me, because Legends of the Fall was the movie where a lot of people fell in love.
Yeah.
Right? But
that was 94. That should have been in there.
Yeah, well, but there's something going on with that movie. That movie is like a serious drama. It's not a dreamy rom-com about a guy coming back and he's deaf and all of that stuff, and death is about to... No, that movie is about 3 brothers go away to war, or 2 brothers go away to war. They come back, they're trying to fuck each other's girls, all kinds of stuff. There's all kinds of mystic, beautiful, ethereal shit happening, and that is the perfect Brad Pitt role.
Yeah.
And so he goes away from that, but he always has to have a little something in the movie that's a little grimy, that's a little more. We don't just trust Brad Pitt just to smile his way through a movie.
Well, True Romance, he's Floyd, which is one of the funniest like Tarantino characters. Californication, he's a maniac.
Crazy.
Like that's just a nuts movie.
He does
Tubi classic.
He does Maniac again in 12 Monkeys.
Yeah. So when he's leading man in Training Wheels, 7, 12 Monkeys, Sleeper, 7 Years to Bet, Meet Joe Black. It's like, all right, this might not happen the way we thought, but there's still something really good here. And then he becomes an A-lister in the next 5 years. Fight Club, Snatch, The Mexican, which was a movie that didn't do that well, but it was Julia Roberts, Sam Gandolfini. Yeah. Ocean's 11, I think, is the big one.
Right.
Because now he's with Damon's on the rise. Clooney's a star. The 3 of them together, the movie becomes massive. And by the time Troy comes out in 2004, it's like Brad Pitt can carry a movie like this. Troy, wasn't a very good movie.
I liked it. But I just remember Troy. I was in, I was going to see a movie with Candace Stein. Shout out to Candace, her whole family, my girlfriend at the time. I'm sure she's married or whatever. And the Troy trailer came on. And Brad Pitt was Achilles. He had let the hair flow, and all of a sudden we're sitting there, with a black woman in a black movie theater in a black city in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And Brad comes on screen and she goes, and I'm sitting there at over 300 pounds. And I'm like, yo, man, can you not? And she goes, I'm sorry, Brad's still fine. And she was saying still, and that was 20 years ago. She was saying still, and
20 plus years ago.
And that was 20 plus years ago.
That leads us to the next stage of Brad Pitt, the Brangelina heyday.
Oh, yeah.
04 to 11, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Benjamin Button, and Glorious Bastards, Moneyball were the highlight movies. But he's like an A-plus lister from the Brangelina thing makes him one of the most famous people in the world.
Could you make an argument that it's not actually until Mr. and Mrs. Smith that Brad Pitt is a hyper, super, megawatt A-lister?
That's what I just said. I think he's an A-plus lister from Brangelina.
Okay.
I think he was an A-lister.
I was thinking about what I was going to say rather than listening to you.
No, he was an A-lister, and then he became an A-plus lister.
Right.
But he was like, he had the celebrity relationships. Like, he dated Paltrow, he dated
Jennifer
Aniston.
Yeah, no, he always had, but I'm just saying that,
like, the Angelina thing was like, boom.
He was on the tip of everybody's tongue. Everyone was talking about what was going on. And not just that, but that movie became...
And that movie was good.
It's a good movie and a formative film. Like, they made a bunch of different Mr. and Mrs. Smith type movies after that.
So in Glorious Bastards, and by the way, he works with Fincher and Benjamin Button.
Yeah.
Interesting movie. Some New Orleans in there.
Yeah.
In Glorious Bastards, Tarantino, and then Moneyball is probably the best he's ever been in a movie, except for maybe Fight Club. He's just like...
Fight Club is tough. Yeah, it's a tough performance right there.
Fight Club, he's awesome.
Tough.
Like, you're just like, wow. This is like Robert Redford could not have done this. You are now moving a little closer almost to De Niro. But Moneyball was like, man, I just fucking like Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
That was one of those movies. But then we hit the next stage, the swoon. Because the Brangelina related, all of a sudden they have like 6 kids.
Bad press.
Shit, some bad press floating around.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird stories about them. And the movies, even though he's doing some good producing stuff, Killing Them Softly, Allied, Fury.
I love that Killing Them Softly movie. I just gotta say it though. That's like, have you seen that one?
I might have saw it when it came. Who's in it?
So it's him. James Gandolfini is in it. It takes place in New Orleans.
New Orleans Month Candidate?
New Orleans Month Candidate. Either it takes place in New Orleans or is shot in New Orleans.
Well, we have to do Angel Heart last for New Orleans Month because then that's when the pod gets canceled.
You cancel the pod. But there's a
We lose all the
robbery. They bring
sponsors.
Brad Pitt. It's a good movie. And
All right, I'll give it another chance.
Yeah.
I don't think it did well.
No, it didn't at all.
And the most successful things he was involved with were 12 Years a Slave and The Big Short, which he wasn't like leading those movies.
He's just in them.
And then the Angelina thing went sideways, and it felt like his career might be over.
There was the Tank movie that came out.
The By the Sea movie was like, and then there was the allegation she had, and the family stuff went. And then Tarantino, this is the last spot. Tarantino kind of revives him with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
COVID happens.
Yeah.
Everyone forgets everything with COVID. And then we get to F1. Now he's in his 60s.
Yeah.
He's had a hit movie in his 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s.
This is a very important movie.
Not nothing.
This is a very important movie for him. Like a super important movie. This might be.
I think for the catalog, he kind of needed it.
Had to have it. Had to have it.
Because like Redford didn't have a movie in his 60s that was like a massive movie like this.
Also, there's something else that Brad needed, in my opinion. The only way to quiet any chatter online about you, and I don't like to, I'm way moved past the point where I litigate people's personal lives unless we're talking about really shitty people. But the best way to in this day and age is to quiet the chatter about you. That anything that anyone might be saying is going, look, nobody cares. And like, just that's the only way you can do it. You just be like, hey, they say this about you. Maybe you weren't the greatest husband of Diddy? I have no advice to Diddy. Okay. There's zero advice. There'll be zero conversation. There's no advice. Okay.
It's like camera two, no advice.
no advice. But like in that situation, look, nobody cares. Look, everything is between me and my family or whomever or whatever. I just went and did this gigantic, big, huge movie. All the sponsors, the movie got made like $40 or $50 million just in sponsorships, right? Like Apple, everybody's fucking with me. Everybody went to see it. Nobody cares. Next story, next movie.
So in a weird way, it's kind of emulating what happened with Cruise, where Cruise, when he hit a certain point in age, just basically became Mission Impossible, Top Gun Maverick guy.
Yeah.
And those are like the two kind of directions he'd go. Brad Pitt, because Cliff Booth and Sonny are not that far off from each other, I don't think. I mean, Sonny's a little more talkative, but same kind of thing, like worn down, still super handsome, can still connect with any woman in the room. Guys are comfortable around him, like that kind of balance.
Still can get it done.
Yeah, and you believe him in any role.
Yeah.
So maybe he has a little bit more upside, but the one thing with him is now he kind of talks like Buffalo Bill a little bit, like he has a dip in his mouth.
Yeah.
So I thought he was amazing in Moneyball. Like, I actually think he could have made a case he could have won Best Actor for that.
Who won that year?
I think it might have been was it Daniel Day-Lewis for
Lincoln? Lincoln year? Yeah.
But,
Moneyball's fantastic.
But now you're age 61, he's got a rough life, and he kind of does all his lines like this, a little half smile on his face, but it works.
Yeah, it does.
You're buying it. I don't think he could be like some of the roles he played in the 90s, 2000s. I just don't think he can do it anymore.
Well, no. I mean, he's gone from being, because if you look back
61,
at that, you look back at that decade, he was in a lot of those movies, young cowboy. He was a young cowboy. He's young cowboy in Seven. You see him, he's even kind of, although.
Well, Seven, he's just like skinny cop guy.
I know, but he's being schooled by the older, more grizzled, I'm out of here vet. Ocean's 11, him and Rusty and Danny kind of on the same level, but now he's the old cowboy in the movie, and the question is, can he still keep up? And you would thought that Brad Pitt would have never gotten to a point to where you put him in a movie, and then the question would be like, he could never play the can you still do it guy, because he's just too otherworldly handsome, otherworldly charismatic. But he was able to kind of make that case in this movie.
He did a nice job, and I'm sure there's some bells and whistles with it, but he's done a really nice job of keeping his looks as like an A+ leading man guy.
Yeah.
Which I think when people hit their late 50s, 60s on the big screen, you just start transitioning, or you end up like Cruise, where it just doesn't seem. Cruise with Jennifer Connelly in the bedroom scene, Top Gun Maverick, one of the funniest scenes of the 2020s.
Right.
You just end up veering in that road where you're like, come on, guys, what are we doing?
But I got to give Tom credit.
For hysterically laughing with his no shirt on?
I got to give Tom credit in that movie for, I know it's the script, for going with age-appropriate co-star, because Tom was wilding for years.
Right.
If I told him it would be Tom Cruise, and it'd be the the hottest 23-year-old, 24-year-old
Yeah.
up and coming actor, and we'd be like, "Come on, Tom, man!" Like,
So him with Ana de Armas and in Top Gun Maverick might not have worked.
Would not have worked.
Brad could pull it off though, because Brad's one of those. We looked up after. My kids were like, "How old is he?" And they thought he was younger than I was. Brad being 61. Well, does he look 61?
Fuck no. No
Yeah,
fucking way.
I was like, I think he's like
61
49.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
No, he doesn't.
They were like, holy shit, he's
any
61
way,
years
shape, or
old.
form does he look 61? No.
My only nitpicks for this movie, it has a poker scene, and I just don't think that's where they needed my sports movie consultancy agency to come in and help them out.
Yeah.
Didn't have a feel. They're playing Texas Hold'em. It's kind of a key scene in the movie, and we don't really see the cards long enough in the middle. I don't know there's no drama. Like, it is not Casino Royale.
Right.
Just put it that way. I didn't love that. Sonny, not to spoil the ending, but the big race at the end. It's a long trip for him to get there, and he just kind of shows up right before, and it's like, oh man,
you mean the actual F1 race?
Yeah,
I thought you meant the Baja thing. The Baja thing actually was not needed at all.
No, I would have not had that. I would just cut that out. But him just going to Saudi Arabia or Abu Dhabi, wherever he was, on a moment's notice,
premium economy,
and then he's going to be in a race,
right?
Like, it doesn't take like a day and like Martin McCauley did that, and he got knocked out in like a round,
right? But look, this is
I didn't love
thing.
That.
He travels around in a van. He lives in a van. He's a rough and tumbled. He's like Ben said in the commentary of Armageddon. They don't understand his rough and tumble ways.
Right.
So he's the type of guy that could get off the plane, get right into the cockpit of an F1 car, and go win the race, the biggest race of his life.
Very important Brad Pitt catalog movie. Very important movie. Good, big. Kosinski now, I think, has hit that Tony Scott. Like, whatever his next movie is, I'm going to go.
I'm watching it. Also, very important movie for Apple.
Oh, yeah. Might have, like, saved their movie business.
Gigantic. I don't know, saved. They got so much money.
Would they have
spent? The cash.
I know, but would they have just kept trotting out $300 million checks for movies if this didn't work?
Man.
They promoted it great.
They did.
And I try to avoid all of it because I never like to know anything when I go to a movie. But it was hard to escape, especially like even if you went to Apple TV, it was like F1's coming. They're like banging it in your head.
On there right now, you see F1. I'm just gonna go check it out. I think it was an important movie, more so not for Apple from a financial standpoint, because I don't think that really matters to them. But I do think from the standpoint of, hey, we can put together a film, and this is not a shot at Scorsese's movie.
Yeah,
right? Not at all. But we can put together a film that is legitimately successful. And when I say legitimately successful, I mean
worldwide successful.
Worldwide successful. Our studio, our talent, our production, we go out and we make one that just attracts more. I mean, not that they're going to have any problem getting talent.
Good. Well, let's all get that Apple money.
I'm with it.
I'm start pitching them stuff tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then we forgot to mention Brad Pitt, now in two of the best sports movies of the 21st century.
Oh, Moneyball.
Not ready to do, I don't know if it's top 5, top 7. I got to probably do a ranking at some point this summer, but they're both in the top 10. There's no question.
Is he 2 for 2 though? Are those his only 2 sports movies? Is he 2 for 2?
He doesn't have like a Legend of Bagger Vance hiding his skeleton in his closet.
I'm trying to think like I'm missing something. He hasn't.
When are we doing that on the rewatchables?
I'm not doing it.
You're not in on that one?
Y'all could do it.
Could it be for How the Fuck Did This Movie Happen month?
Right. Will, what the fuck are you on right
everybody.
now?
Why? Matt Damon didn't know how to play golf. They had
Right.
to like crash course teach him. It'd be a fun movie to make fun of. All right. So last thing before we go. Now this is a spoiler.
Okay.
Did the right person? So if you haven't seen the movie yet, just go. You can just fast forward to the next segment. Did the right person win the last race? It was a swerve. The way they set it up, I was actually really surprised how missionary position, old school sports movie traditional they went. It's like, let's have the old white guy win this one. I thought for sure the new guy was going to sacrifice so the new guy win, and they both win. And they really zagged. And then we were arguing about it in the car after. And my kids were like, no, but DP won too because the fireworks are behind him. He's going to win a lot of races coming. I was like, I don't know. Like, Sonny's really going to win the race?
So
I thought it was a little 1980s-ish.
I'm going to try to get my Mahoney on here and be
concise.
Go ahead,
do it.
But it's tough. I'm glad he won. Okay. I'm glad he won because he had never won before.
Right.
To me, my thing is this was a big point of contention when we left the theater as well. It's 4 of us. We went to see the movie. Everybody had a different take.
But do you think it was a swerve, or did they just go Jerry Bruckheimer because he produced their old school Hollywood? No, Brad's got to win the race. This is how it goes.
I'm looking at the movie going into that final race going, wow, who needs to win here? Who do we need to have a story where Brad ensures that Damson's character wins? But if we do that, sure, he shepherds this young man, but he never wins a race. This reminds me of my great disdain for a movie called Mr. 3000.
I don't like that movie.
But I'm not talking about, I like the movie just fine, but the fact that he has 3,000 hits, he comes back to get the 1 hit, and then he sacrifice bunts or whatever and sacrifices that last hit for the team, stupid to me.
Yeah.
I think about 493 home runs all the time for Fred McGriff, and I'm like, Fred McGriff was 7 home runs away from 500. I would have played 9 more years.
Just be a corpse.
Just to get those 7 home runs. So to me, when I look at like guys like the Sonny character in this movie, let him win 1 race, man. Let him win the race. Let him win 1 race.
Do you think DP would have been that excited about it though?
That's his character arc. His character arc is he's come so far that he can be excited that Sonny won his race. Sonny's come so far that he doesn't sabotage himself anymore.
See, this was Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown when Jason didn't win the finals MVP, but he was happy for Jaylen Brown because they both won.
That would have been.
This is what I was trying to say a year ago.
That would have been if DP was driving and he just choked in the last lap. And
Come on. Jason Tatum's in a boot right now. What are you doing?
He's doing great. I'm glad he's doing great. He's doing great. I saw him. Do you see him walking?
Yeah, he's swimming. He's walking around. He's walking.
He's going to be back. Bill.
He's fine.
He might be back.
I'm not. We're not allowing ourselves to think about it. We don't have a center.
All right.
Yeah, that and then flying. Now we can say because I turned the spoiler alert thing off. Or on. Flying to Abu Dhabi, showing up right for the race, and then winning a Formula One race. Because my son was like, "Should I start like?" Do you think I could be an F1 driver? Like, it's like one of those conversations. I was like, we're all worried. We're like, is this going to be a new fascination for you? And we were all like, the amount of concentration and endurance you need to have to do that. That's like, you can't even, the amount of locked in you have to be locked in for that long. It's like a special kind of human being, and that is not my son.
It's like a
it's not anyone I know.
Yeah, like who knows? You ever see those guys? Their old grainy pictures where they're like behind the wheel of a go-kart or a soapbox car when they're like 7 or 8 years old.
Right?
They're like little bit. Look at me, hi. You know what I'm saying? But what I always think about is I think about these drivers like Lewis and Michael Schumacher and all of those guys. I think about Senna and all those guys, but I also think about how many Sonny Hayes there must be out there.
Oh, yeah.
Guys who wrecked it, fucked their backs up or whatever, and now they're somewhere, popping pain pills for the rest of their life and they didn't make it. That's why I was happy that he won the race.
Yeah, because one of the things I don't understand is F1, because it seemed like when he was trying to sabotage the race early on and like basically causing little accidents.
The safety car?
Yeah, and I was like, can people do this? Like, it feels like that would be a big thing if people did shit like this.
That's the part of the sport.
That's where we don't know.
Exactly. That's the part of it where I'm holding the movie's hand going, okay, if you guys say that this could happen, then this could happen.
Yeah, well, that's like probably what it's like to watch a basketball movie with us.
Right.
Because I remember the first year of ER, we watched it with my stepmother, one of the episodes, and she was like, oh, my stepmother was a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, that's stupid. That would never happen. Oh my God, they would never have that. And we were just like, can you just stop? Can you just let us enjoy this appendectomy that's being performed right now, please? Have you seen a show called The Good Doctor, by the way?
Yes.
So we watched Bachelor in Paradise this week.
What the fuck is
on
going
Hulu.
on?
It's always home.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was on.
Mm-hmm.
And it ended, and the streamers do this new thing where they just shove
They just
the
make
next.
you watch the next
There's
thing.
no credits. It's just there's a new show started.
Right.
So The Good Doctor started. Never seen it. Never seen one moment of it. And it was the pilot episode. And we were kind of like locked in.
You fucking with it.
It's pretty good.
Young kid.
It was like kind of the Good Doctor's background.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good. Network TV. Maybe I'm aging into the demo finally. Maybe I should start watching.
NCIS Simmons?
Maybe this should be my new podcast where I age the over 55 shows. I just start. It's like, good Matlock last night.
I cannot believe Matlock, Kathy Bates.
Yeah.
Kathy Bates is Matlock now. NCIS Simmons with the lady from True Blood. She's in the show. It's called like Elizabeth or something like that. I know these shows because my mom.
You see that? And my dad.
Yeah.
My dad was furious they canceled Blue Bloods. Couldn't believe it. Felt like it had 5 more years. But then they spun off Donnie Wahlberg in the Boston Blue, which is launching in September.
Oh, okay. It's in Boston?
We're back. Go ahead. Make your jokes. Go ahead.
What?
Make your jokes about the 3-episode arc. Go ahead.
I'm saying he's a cop in Boston.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we'll make sure
fun.
that us in the community, we keep track of the police brutality events that are portrayed in the show.
It'd be very positive, be a positive role model.
Per show, then it's not real.
By the way, Donnie Wahlberg very close to Jaylen Brown. Could see a Jaylen Brown cameo on Boston Blue. Yeah. Donnie Wahlberg's like very tight with the Celtics.
So Donnie Wahlberg is Mark Wahlberg cool with Jaylen Brown?
I don't know Mark Wahlberg. I can't speak for Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, Jaylen.
Mark Wahlberg sold his house to Paris Hilton.
I want you to Google because, all right, so Mark Wahlberg has done a lot.
No, we're not doing this. All right. Should we bring in Charles, talk about Superman or no?
Charles.
All right. All right. Charles Holmes is here.
Yo, what up?
Van's partner in the Midnight Boys.
Pew, pew, pew.
You guys are going to convince me to go see the Superman movie. I'll just make the case. This is how this started. Superman came out in 1978. I saw it in the theater.
Okay.
I really like Superman 2, a movie we'll do with the rewatchables at some point. Do you like Superman 2?
I love Superman 2. Who doesn't?
Superman 2 is great. There's like some real stuff in there about how far will you go to keep your powers.
Oh.
It's like some sports shit in there.
Okay.
That's in a lot of superhero movies, though, that you don't watch.
Go.
Mm-hmm.
True.
That's true.
Then they made Superman again. Then I think they made it a third time.
They made 4 original Christopher Reeve Supermans. Then they came back in 2006 with the Bryan Singer Superman. And then
there's Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman, and now we got
Justice League. And the Cavill one, people kind of liked, right? And not really? Or they liked Cavill, but they didn't like the movie?
Cavill wasn't given a super awesome opportunity to play Superman the way he was supposed to be played. He never really got great scripts.
The thing is, once he got good at playing Superman,
it was over.
It was over.
Yeah.
All the movies had flopped to such an extent. Then, do you remember The Rock coming in and being like, the hierarchy of the DCU is changing? So it was just like he got caught up in a bad system.
Okay. Yeah. Well, now we have another Superman.
Yes.
Right.
Corn sweat.
But you guys liked it.
Yeah.
I did. Charles liked it.
I don't want to see it. I told you
I'm a
not
hater.
gonna
And
see it.
even I liked it. Yeah. All right, let's put. So you said something crazy over at the office where you.
Was it crazy?
Get him.
You said to me, James Bond is cooler than Batman. And I would say not only is that a crazy take, that kind of points us towards why do you have such a ill will to superheroes?
Not an ill will. I like my heroes to be at least somewhat realistic.
James Bond is realistic.
Yeah.
Too.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Makes a lot of sense.
Handsome English guy with some gadgets.
John Wick, realistic.
If James Bond.
John Wick, they killed his dog. Somebody kills your dog.
They killed Batman's parents. What is more realistic than that?
And then
struggle?
Batman learned how to fly off buildings. Like once
glide?
you're flying,
Glide.
that's where my suspension goes sideways. But I've seen all these movies. With Superman, I don't know what's left to explore.
Oh man,
because James Bond.
You're about to get me started.
Go ahead. I want to hear it.
Okay, so you guys. This is not the Ringerverse, so this is about to get a little bit schmaltzy and whatever.
I can't wait.
So I think there's a reason why we keep coming back to the story of Superman. The reason why we keep coming back to the story, and we've always had stories like this, and we talked about this on the Midnight Boys, is that the story of something that is, let's face it, Superman is a higher being than the rest of the people on Earth that surround him, right? It's a very powerful being,
yeah,
but chooses to do good. a being that is that powerful with godlike, almost limitless powers that chooses to do good is
unlike our girl in Species,
who chose the other way, right? Because when we are human beings and we get power, a lot of power, even earthly power, we often don't choose to be good. So Superman, to me, is a character that reflects the durability of humanity. Like, oh my God, he's such a big deal, but he just wants to be one of us. He wants to have a relationship. He wants to have a job. He wants to get a cat out of the tree. He's saddled by his
greatness.
Saddled by his greatness.
Which you love. This is a storyline that you invest in every single sports season. Why is it with superheroes you can't?
Right. You would say all of this about Jokic, but you won't say it about Kal-El from the planet Krypton.
They got him a good bench this year. Does Superman have a bench in this movie?
Yes, he does. He does. Mr. Terrific, Hawkgirl, Metamorpho.
Who's Hawkgirl?
There you go.
Who's playing Hawkgirl?
Isabella Merced.
Oh,
well, you didn't watch Last of Us either?
Wait. I got one for you. No, it's not her.
Last of Us, the zombie one?
Yeah.
That lasted 5
Rachel
episodes.
Brosnahan, though.
That's not Cat Grant.
Cat Grant. That's a Bill. That's a
Bill special. Bill, there's something for you in this film. I'm telling you.
Okay, so in the whole Ringerverse, because it got pretty grim there for a few years with some of the movies. We talked about it.
Our friendship
is grim fair.
And I will say, Van and I have had a lot of it got so bad. I'm like, damn, our shit is fucked up now.
He's not wrong. We
the relationship was in trouble.
The movies got so bad to where the stuff was so bad to where it was starting to affect our dynamic.
Yes.
Because he was getting really frustrated. I was trying to put on a brave face, and the whole group was like, man, I'm like, yo, y'all, get together. I was like, war. We got to go to work, okay? We got to watch Secret Invasion. Come on, everybody. This is what we do. And Charles is like, man, fuck these shows.
It was rough.
The stuff just got bad.
Superman,
what got bad? It was too familiar, the CGI? What were the reasons it got bad?
They flooded the zone. I think the superhero genre was very, very great when it's we get 2 or 3 movies a year. Then when
late 2000s
era. But then when Marvel is actually, you're going to have a Marvel hero in your household every single quarter, every single week. And it just diluted the brand to such an extent. And when you see a Superman movie, you're like, oh, this is a cinematic character. I don't necessarily want to see him 52 weeks of the year. I want to, on a weekend in July, I want to believe a man can fly.
Also, the movie making.
Yeah.
The filmmaking. So with Marvel, there was Kevin Feige, and he was connecting all the dots on all of this stuff. And they just overwhelmed their capability. And the quality started to suck.
So it'd be like if a couple baseball movies worked, and then they just started making 5-6 baseball movies a year. You'd be like, all right.
Think about this. They make a baseball movie, right? A Babe Ruth movie.
Yeah.
They make a Babe Ruth movie. It's great. They make
So now we're getting Ty Cobb, Ted Williams, Lou Gehrig.
But no, not just that. We're getting a 52-week series about Mark Lemke and Jeff Blauser. It's like, okay, you guys love this series we just did about Ken Griffey Jr.
Tommy Glavine.
We were out of series about their fucking mothers in the 1950s and what the fuck they was up to. And I'm like, hey, yo, show me the fucking superheroes, bro.
Right.
Too much.
So we got back to the basics.
Because it
feels like the heyday was late 2000s when we had Dark Knight, which is one of the best movies.
Was the heyday?
That's not the heyday. That's the heyday of Batman.
When we had Dark Knight and Iron Man right around each other.
Oh.
And it felt like it reinvented the possibilities of how great these movies could be.
But you hopped off before we got Guardians of the Galaxy,
I
Black
did.
Panther,
because
Avengers.
all of a sudden there was too many of them. And even Iron Man 2 I thought was super disappointing. And that was when
not the best
my
movie.
guard went
Not
up.
the best movie.
But I would say the heyday would be 16 to 19.
Yeah.
Well, that's the second heyday, but I missed that one.
Okay.
Because I enjoyed that first heyday.
And neither of your kids were into the MCU.
I tried to get it going with my son, and it just never completely took. We started it correctly, and by the 5th one, we were out.
But don't you also feel like Superman is in that milieu of characters to me where it's James Bond, Batman, Superman, you have these characters where we're kind of damn, I kind of want to see if they can work. Rocky with Creed. You have those type of characters where it's it kind of tells you where
But then it's diminishing
America,
returns after if it's the same right?
You liked F1. I liked F1. F1 wasn't reinventing the wheel. It's
No.
just Top Gun Maverick again. But there is something about
All
like
right, settle down, Charles.
Wow.
Jesus.
This is
Top Gun Maverick again.
This is the guy. This
Wait,
is the
whoa,
guy.
whoa, whoa.
This
We got
is Chuck Wagon.
F1 is Top Gun Maverick with
But
Gunn.
it was, I mean, the IMAX stuff was
No, whoa,
amazing,
I
though.
love this movie. It's one of my favorite movies of the year. But they didn't reinvent the wheel on this shit.
I know, but my fear with all this stuff is, we talked about this a little before, just there's no way to reinvent the wheel because the wheel has already been looked at every single fucking way at this point.
So
That's when a movie like, I'm trying to think of like a wholly original movie that, like Sinners, when that came out, we were like, whoa, this is a movie unlike anything I've seen before.
Agreed.
Even though it had some vampire roots and all the different things
Yeah.
it just felt like original creative IP.
But how does
I just think
even
that's
Ryan
been
Coogler
harder.
get to Sinners, where it's like,
True,
like
he has
it's
a-
like Christopher Nolan had the ability. Of course, he did the Batman films, but he had the ability to make a bunch of original movies, and then
That
Batman
led to the Batman.
got
Right.
him into the category where it's like, oh, we're going to see Inception, we're going to see this. Ryan Coogler basically had to prove to these studios, all right, I did Creed and I did Fruitvale Station, but Black Panther showing y'all that I can actually do a 4-quadrant blockbuster movie.
do you ever ask yourself, you ever wonder what attracts somebody like Christopher Nolan to Batman? Or like what attracts, why do some of these guys, like when you got to Batman Begins and you look at who's in the movie, it's Liam Neeson and Morgan Freeman and all of these people. And I know everybody wants to pay for their winter homes and Aspen and all of that stuff like that. I get it. I get that you're an actor, you got to make money. I get that. But also, there is something with creatives on that level that intrigues them about making movies or content with a character that is so well known and so well understood, because they get to think about, what can I do with this character that's actually there that hasn't been done? Like-
So there's 4 reasons.
Okay.
That's the one is the one you just said. Challenge.
Yeah.
Everybody has stared at this IP for 100 years. It's a challenge for me. I can solve this.
Yeah.
2 is money. 3 is ring culture.
Oh, you want to
Like
win.
in sports.
Yeah.
This is like, if you can pull it off on this, it's like when I remember talking to Affleck about this because I wrote about this when he did, what did he do? When he did the Superman movie.
Ben or Casey, because it's 2.
Ben.
Okay.
When,
He was Batman in
when
Batman
he, when
vs.
he
Superman.
did Batman versus Superman.
Justice League, all of it.
But remember, he was on the heater because he had The Town, Argo. Like
He was
like,
the fucking man.
he had won it back. And then it's like, why are you doing this?
And it's the second go around because he
Why-
was Daredevil. So that Daredevil
But you know
movie
why he
was
did
in,
it? Because he was like,
my kid.
fuck it. If I pull it was like basically, it was like Tom Brady going for the Tampa Bay Super Bowl. If I can do this, I can do anything.
And
So that's the
Bill,
third thing. And then the 4th thing is money.
And Bill, let me tell you something. There's something that people don't talk about as much, but they should. He was sensational.
Really?
Affleck was
He-
a great Batman.
Was a great Batman.
He still has a suit. Oh, and the 4th thing is impressing your kids.
Yeah.
Everyone always forgets that part. Most of the people that are making movies like this at some point have kids, or at least one kid under the age of 8, who thinks like, holy shit, my dad's going to be Batman?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
And it's
also,
just like impressive.
look at Tom Holland. Tom Holland as Spider-Man. Does Tom Holland get into a Christopher Nolan movie? Because if we look at his track record after Spider-Man, could you name me a Tom Holland
Does
movie
he
that
need
you-
like the stamp of approval almost?
I think with like Corn Sweat, with Holland, with Pattinson like becomes Batman. He didn't need this. He was killing it in terms of just
Right.
like,
Mhm.
oh, he is the indie darling. Everyone loves
Yeah.
him. But there's a different thing when Robert Pattinson gets to go to his acting buddies and be like, but y'all not Batman.
Well, that's the Downey is the best example of that, right? Or like Heath Ledger, who does Brokeback, and he's great in that, but then Dark Knight becomes the movie that's probably gonna
But
outlive him 50
he
years
had
from
a
now.
take, though. He had a take on the character
Yeah.
that we're so familiar with. He had a take, and that take went on to define the character. There's one thing about being the Joker. There's another thing about redefining
Yeah.
the Joker. He redefined that character. Even like, I'll give you so Nolan, right?
Yeah.
The Odyssey. That story is thousands of years old, right? Like hundreds. When did the Odyssey? Whatever. It's an ancient by contemporary standard story, but we're gonna keep telling it because the themes in the story are as relevant today as they've been in the past, and everybody's going to want to retell that's the story of Moses, the story, all of that stuff. It's all the same shit. The Matrix is
good. You guys are winning me back a little bit.
The Matrix is a retelling of the Jesus story. Now, I will say this: we should talk about specifically like what is awesome about this Superman movie that makes it like worth the trip.
Well, the villain seems good.
Lex
and Nicholas Hoult as Lex is phenomenal. Also, I feel like this is a movie where it's going to be a lot for you. It's very cartoony. It's very comic booky. But I do think that this movie does a very good job of you don't have to see anything. It has that Iron Man feel of just like, I can sit.
Starting from scratch, basically.
And it's not starting from scratch where it's like, you already know the origin story, where it's like, planet blew up, he goes to...
None of that happens here.
They're just like, we don't need that. It starts in the middle of the action where you're like, okay, I get it. Like,
I do like that.
Little
James
crawl,
Gunn had some success in the past.
Yeah.
Little crawl, tell you where you at, and it reorients the character. We said this on the podcast on the Midnight Boys. Most Superman movies, they're looking through his eyes. And if you look through his eyes, everything is weaker because he's way up here. If you look through his eyes, everything is weaker. So you start to wonder, like, what the fuck is going on?
It's like Jokic.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of here. Okay. He is a bad motherfucker, though.
Pretty good.
He is. You know, that was one of my, I look back at the dickhead momentum that I've had in the past. I'm doing it again with Caitlin Clark to a degree, but I don't care. I won't stop.
Can you talk him off the Caitlin Clark?
I don't want to talk about it.
I like it's one of the best zags of the 2020s. It's great.
But Jokic is
it's a great zag.
I asked so just real quick, I'll come back to Superman. I meant to get you on the phone with this guy. So one of my homeboys, my best friend from Baton Rouge, Ryan Davenport. I remember me and you got into it about the Jokic and the Shaq thing. We're going back and forth about it. So I hit Ryan up, and I know that Ryan is going to agree with me. And, my man Ryan was in the streets for a long time. So he talks the way he talks. And I was like, bruh, let me ask you a question. Who do you think better, Jokic or Shaq? And he goes, man, Jokic. Like he said he was angry. He didn't want to have to say it. He was like, man, Jokic, bruh. And I was like, what? I was like, bro, you can't do shit with that bitch. He was like, that bitch get the ball. If you double that bitch, pass that bitch. He's like that bitch. If you one-on-one, he cooking everybody. It's Jokic, man. He made Anthony Davis look crazy. It's Jokic, bro. I'm sorry. He better. And I was after that, he was mad. He felt the feeling. It's hard to admit it. I still don't agree with him, but I get it.
Well, now you got Caitlin.
Yeah, I got a new foil. The next one has to be black, or I'm not getting an agenda. I have to choose.
But Lamar Jackson's sitting there. If he one more playoff loss,
I can't.
No, I'm just saying. He's sitting there.
I still gotta get
it. It's a good zag.
I gotta be able to get into the
people wouldn't expect it.
You expect me to go? You what?
Keep people on the toes.
Like Whitlock? No, I can't do that, bro. They're not gonna let me into the.
Why are you getting you gonna get in trouble, bro?
Superman. This movie does something different. It orients the story. It puts Superman in the middle of the story.
Okay.
And the story happens around Superman. Simple fix. Now Superman is not somebody that you have to question at every single plot turn.
So you weren't just pleasantly surprised. You were deliriously surprised.
You
couldn't believe it was good.
I got emotional on the podcast.
Wow.
Yeah, there were tears. I'm tempered. I hate everything. And even I was like, I can't hate everything. Like, I was like, all right, they got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to get it.
He didn't think it was a perfect movie, but
I didn't think it was. It's an 8, like, out of 10. It's like, to me, it's like in that 7-8 range where I'm like,
all right, I'm going to see it. You guys won me over.
Hell fucking yeah.
Well, so give me 3 movies from the last 15 years, 3 Ringerverse movies that I have to see.
I know one you're going to love straight off the bat.
Guardians of the Galaxy?
You might like that. I could see you liking that, but that's not the one I was talking about.
Wonder Woman?
Bet you would, right? Captain America, Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, you've never seen Winter Soldier?
I've never seen any of those Captain
You would
America
like that.
movies.
Have you seen Black Panther?
Black Panther doesn't count. That movie was awesome.
Yeah.
Wait, Black Panther definitely fucking counts.
Okay. No, that's a Michael B. Jordan. I have season tickets for my guy.
Yeah, he's a big Michael B. Jordan fan. But
wait, you're actually on Michael B. Jordan Island.
I think I was his first podcast. Fruitvale Station, I think I was the first podcast he ever did.
I've had to defend him a lot. People have been like, hey, before Sinners, everybody's now on his fucking dick. Everybody's like, I don't know about the twins. I don't know if he can act, blah, 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 blah.
He's a movie star.
Michael movie star, man.
There was a couple poor choices.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple hiccups, much like an athlete. A couple bad.
Not on film, though.
Well, that legal movie he did was bad.
What you talking about?
Yeah.
Whatever the one where he was the lawyer.
That
movie was
got
bad.
memory hold.
Yeah,
We don't really put
The
that.
movie when he's with Zac Efron and the other guy, and they're
That was
the
early on, though.
Early on, but that movie's bad.
Yeah, but he
He had a couple of bad ones.
But look, he's
a movie star.
the Mike movie star. Mike movie star.
Sinners. We were waiting for the. Can you be a movie star in a movie?
So
with him?
actually, not
That's like Brad Pitt. in
because
F1.
I have
Just
you.
be a
And you've
movie
seen
star.
Black Panther,
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan, but you saw F1, right? How are you feeling about Damson as a movie star? Do you recast him as T'Challa?
Is that on the table?
It
It's
is.
on the
That's the
table.
rumor.
So the rumor is he's Black Panther now. That's the rumor.
Do you think he can kind of like take that? Did you see in F1?
Think
Because
he
like
can
the
take
question
that.
is, can he
Jesus.
go from Snowfall
Wow.
TV show to movie stardom in F1 to like leading an entire franchise? I'm with it.
I think he could do it. I thought he carried himself like a leading man in F1,
Yes.
even though I didn't really have a history with him in a
You
movie
didn't watch
like
Snowfall?
that. No, just like a movie like that, where he's like, I had to believe in him as my hero.
I wanted more. I think in the second movie, I'm just like, I think Brad Pitt could take a kind of like back seat. You could.
I thought he had it. I think he's a star.
So I would say easy work. You can't not like Avengers Infinity War. Endgame might not work on you. Because
he can't watch Infinity. He's not gonna know what's
Yes, he
going
will.
on, bro.
It's fucking Spider-Man. He knows who Spider-Man is. Spider-Man, Iron Man, they're none of the B-list characters in the movie. I think he would know. You know who Thor is, right?
Yeah.
I would say Winter Soldier.
Yeah, definitely.
I would say Infinity War just because I don't think he can miss. And Charles was the last one.
Honestly,
Three
I
for
think
Bill.
you would like Guardians. You
Okay.
like team
Yeah, you might like
dynamics.
that. You might like that.
You know
I
what
do
I'm
like team dynamics.
I mean, and also the last thing about Superman, you love dogs. Crypto.
Oh,
Amazing.
shit.
Crypto is amazing in this movie.
This is the thing. You're going to love this movie.
Okay.
Do you have a good dog or a misbehaved dog?
I've had both.
You've had both. You're going like
Yeah. Well,
Right.
you met Murph.
Right now,
Murph,
I fuck with Murph.
Yeah.
But
Wait,
like,
you
Murph
don't fuck
doesn't
with
like
Murph?
everybody. Murph doesn't like everybody.
yeah.
He's
Murph is
you have to
crypto.
come in a few times.
Yeah.
ooh, Murph is crypto. Hey, you gonna love this movie?
Yeah.
Wait, I just blanked on what I was gonna. Oh, the superhero movie that does Charles know my superhero that didn't get a movie yet that I can't believe didn't get a movie?
I don't think he's ever heard it.
You might not have heard it.
I think I did. Wait.
Who's this hero?
No, actually,
Plastic Man.
oh yeah, we did talk about. We haven't talked about it on a pod, but we talked about it at your.
So when I was a kid, and they
Plastic
in the
Man?
Saturday morning cartoons, they had a Plastic Man cartoon. It was fucking great, and he could do all this like stretch himself out shit, and had a hot girlfriend because he was Plastic.
All right,
Man.
so
but
yeah, let's follow up with a
I always thought that as the technology got better, I always thought Plastic Man
You know,
would be in the
stretching is
universe
not
somewhere.
stretching is very hard to do. They're trying to do it in the new Fantastic Four movie that's coming out in a couple weeks.
Like he could reach up and grab.
you know,
airplanes.
canonically, Superman is afraid of Plastic Man.
Plus, like plastics, you get like what's going on in the world now, where we all have little
Microplastic.
pieces of plastic from
well,
he
Plastic
drinking
Man's not
bottled water.
really made of plastic.
Well, but is Plastic Man bad for the environment? Like, there's all these ways it could go.
They might do it, but like he's ridiculously powerful. So powerful because he used to be a criminal. So powerful that Superman's a little wary of him. Superman's like, this guy might be the most powerful guy in the Justice League. We gotta watch out for Plastic Man.
Who's playing
is
Plastic
dumb
Man?
powerful.
I don't know.
He
we have the
wants to make
technology
movie.
now, though.
Yeah.
You know, comedically, I think you need like a comic actor.
So, what's the best?
Bill Hader.
Bill Hader would be
Bill Hader would be
fucking
good.
amazing.
Best Ringerverse movie of the first 25 years of the 21st century.
We should have done this. We should have done this just like the Big
You
Pig
can
did
do
it.
it anyway.
No, we're doing it. We got some shits.
But
It's Dark
what's
Knight.
number one?
It's-
Dark Knight.
Dark Knight still hasn't been top. That's why I think like that's the movie to me. Everybody's like, but I know what Van's gonna say. He's gonna say you gonna say Endgame.
You know, it is Dark Knight without a doubt. It's not even close, but like it almost doesn't count. It's
How?
because it's not really a superhero movie. It's a psychological thriller with Batman.
It's basically
in it.
the town.
Yeah. It is. I no. It's the answer is the Dark Knight.
It's
But I
closer
could
to
make
the
a-
heat in the town.
Yeah.
Way
Yeah.
closer.
than a
It-
superhero
I can
movie.
make a really
Uh,
compelling argument that the reason why the movie resonates with people like it is because it's closer to those movies than it is to the stuff that we're talking about. But the movie has Batman and the fucking Joker in it.
So if it's
It-
not the Dark Knight, what would it be?
It'd be either Iron Man or Endgame.
Iron Man is actually probably the.
Yeah.
Before we go, can you make the case for me to watch season 4 of The Bear? Because I still haven't dove in yet.
Have you watched season 3 of The Bear?
I watched all 3. I love The Bear. I didn't like season
This was
3
a
as
bounce back
much.
season to me. Don't listen
Okay,
to
bounce back.
Andy Andy on the watch. He's my boy.
Call him out.
You know what I'm saying? But like, there's a lot of hate going on. I think then we ended up, I would say there was probably only one episode this season that I was like, and not even bad. Just kind of just like boring.
And
I haven't listened to the pod yet because I haven't watched the episodes yet.
And it was really fun. The Bear was fun again because the show got to a point to where
season 3 was too grim.
It was too grim.
I think he got thrown off by that Thanksgiving episode and how intense that was,
and all the
it
cameos
like weirdly affected season 3.
Yeah. I agree. There is a episode in season 4 that is a spiritual successor to that. It was a Thanksgiving or Christmas.
Christmas, whatever it was, holidays.
To that episode.
The fishes, yeah.
But it's the other way. So where that episode was super intense and almost suffocating, this episode has all of the same people, the same family dynamics. However, it's a release. And they executed it really well.
Is your like apprehension to the Bear just that
it's not apprehension, I'm just not ready yet. Because it's intense.
This one felt less.
It's not the same anymore.
They took the notes where it was just like, hey, bro, we got to bring some of the comedy back. I actually laughed this season, which like third season, I was like, yo.
Third season was tough.
Before we go, can I pitch you a superhero movie?
I'm ready.
Late 90s baseball steroids era superhero.
Oh.
Yeah. That's it. That's all I got.
Wait, why does he do the steroids?
Everyone's on steroids, but we actually have a real superhero in baseball and nobody realizes it.
Oh, that's good.
Oh,
they've played around with that. They've played around with that a little bit. But that's good.
Like he's like, finally I have some cover because all these guys are these steroid monsters hitting 60 homers. I
thought you were saying the steroids give him the powers, but no.
Right.
I can finally play baseball and people won't be suspicious if I'm a superhero because all these other guys are
taking piss.
That's all I have.
I gotta tell you something.
That's it.
First of all, this is actually we're giving away recipes, but this is a limited. And you have a reporter.
8-episode Apple?
8-episode Apple. Yep. You have a reporter, and that reporter is doing some sort of profile on him. She's a hot lady.
Starts realizing there's something more going on.
Starts to realize.
She thinks it's a creatine thing, but it's not.
At the same time, you know what? The owner of the team is actually a nefarious supervillain. This guy,
definitely bald. Bald white guy.
This guy
looks like Bezos.
He's doing the whole deal, but it starts to become, are you going to continue to chase what's happening on the field, or are you going to use your superhero powers for good? Whole thing, but it's rated R though. You know, it's sex, it's baseball, it's the whole nine.
It's a dirty
baseball
superhero steroids movie.
Yeah. What team would you want him to play for?
Yankees.
Let's go.
Thanks, guys. Good to see you.
Peace.
All right, that's it for the podcast. Thanks to Van and Charles. Thanks to Gahao and Eduardo as well. I'm going to be back on Sunday, a week from now. So you'll make it. Nothing's happening. It'll be fine. This is the most boring week of the year. If anything crazy major happens, I'll come back. Otherwise, I'm going to be doing football prep, getting ready, trying to top my 27-5 on the over-unders from last year, which I'll never top. I'm probably going to suck. But enjoy the rest of the weekend, and I'll see you in a week.